Hello and welcome to another Coffee with Developers. Here it's evening at night, but at your case it's not yet. I'm here with Anna Oliveira. I hope that was the right way of pronouncing it.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Almost. Okay. So, Anna, what do you do and who are you?
So basically, I am a software engineer at Philp Health. That is a startup. Um, and I work as a software engineer for almost 3 years by now, I guess. And besides software development, I'm also interested in security.
Okay. And that's how I found you, actually. You posted something on LinkedIn, I think it was, that you had put together a game which is on the command line and it's teaching people security. And I thought that was a very interesting approach. First of all, how did you come by that? Did you want to share your own learnings, or did you just think like a game is the best way for people to get to embrace this rather complex concept?
So basically, as I said, I have a big interest in security, especially secure coding, because as I work as a software developer, I try to always use the best practices and I need to study for it. So I study and I saw there are many platforms of gamification uh, to study security. But when I was learning like the OS categories, the vulnerabilities, I previously had studied Rust and I was studying with Rust links. That is a terminal gamification as well, where you just run the command and you go through the levels and you fix the code to correct the to learn like variables and basic concepts of Rust. And I thought, mm, I wanted something like that to study good, secure coding practice, like to see the real code in practice, the snippet of the code, and try to identify what is wrong about it so I could do the same in my daily basis, like working or when I would develop something, like just look and see a code and guess what's not really good about it and what I could improve and how to identify an actual an actual vulnerability. So that was the main thing that inspired me to do blind spot and some ideas emerged in the way. And yeah, I thought about making it open source because as I am a student of security, I'm not a security professional. I could learn with others that are also studying or maybe are more experienced and they could improve and everyone learn from it. Uh, because I think it's really cool to learn while playing something looks like a game, is a game. I think it's great.
And it's in the command line as well. I mean, there's a lot of courses out there where you could go to the browser and you can learn about it. But sooner or later, if you're in security, you will have to be very, very happy to actually be in the command line for most of the things
Yeah,
that you do. So putting the game in there like a text adventure almost like, and you staying in that environment also breaks down the barrier of people who might be overwhelmed by command line. Because when you a lot of tutorials go like open the terminal and do this, and people like nope, not gonna touch it, gonna kill my computer doing that. So in the environment, do you execute the code, or is it just basically you pointing out what the vulnerabilities are and like simulating what would happen, or is there a sandbox, or how does it work?
yeah. So basically, yeah, I thought about doing it because I worked a lot with web applications, but I was like choosing what to do, and it made more sense to me to do in the terminal because it's more practical. You just the idea is you just hit the command, you just type blind spot from your terminal and it executes and you start playing, or you can like even if you want to practice spotting a specific vulnerability, you can go by category. There are category filters and difficulty levels. Also, you can filter to just go and play randomly based on those filters. And uh, yeah, I thought it would be more practical, and you just go hit blind spot, you hit start. You can also, there are game mods you can play, like random by difficulties or by category. So you play like a section of categories, and you see the snippet of code. It is simply the snippet of the code, and there are four options of what the vulnerability is, and you have to like read the snippet and try to identify what it is and which of the four options is the more appropriate one by what is being shown. And also, um, when you guess it right, it appears explanation of why it is the right option. Because sometimes we kind of feel like something is the right option. I guess this is the right option, but we can't really explain why, and we don't fully understand why. So I thought it would be cool to put an explanation. So maybe you learn even something more about why it is right, more
Mm.
than what you thought.
So it's multiple choice, like journey through through a whole thing. Like, yeah, you found that mistake, but did you think about that one and these kind of things? So it's like a choose your own adventure with security holes.
Yeah, because you can filter by the categories too. If you are like, you think you are weak, like you don't know really well a vulnerability, you can just filter by that category and train. The description we have when you like execute blind spot is train your eye to identify insecure code practices, and it would be the shorter description to that summarizes everything.
So where do you get the information from? Like, where do you pull the code examples? Did you write them yourself? Are they contributed by other people? Did they come from documentation that you used or learning materials that you used?
Yeah, so I study a lot by the OS material, and but as I said, I am a student. I'm starting to learn things, so it was really a challenge for me to think how I could make this uh, almost database of challenges, because I am studying myself. So basically, I had the help of the documentation and also AI tools to do that database of challenges. And I asked some friends and colleagues that work in security to like review it, and feel free to tell me, oh, this challenge doesn't make sense, oh, so and so. And also the main thing for me was to put it open source. So if some challenge is not well done, it's not right, people can go there and contribute. And that's also why I posted on LinkedIn to more people come and contribute, add more challenges or correct the current ones, um, because that would be really great.
So were there any contributions so far? Did you have to get pull requests sorted? Did people give you feedback that wasn't too happy, or what was the first impression that people got so far?
Yeah, so I showed some friends first that work in security. They said it was a really cool idea. They really like it, the concept itself,
Mhm.
because it's practical, and they thought it was cool. And yeah, there were good feedbacks, but no contributions yet. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to reach people. I contacted people by LinkedIn, like sending the repository and saying, hey, you work with security. If you have any feedbacks or contributions you could do to my project, I would be really happy. And yeah, I'm open to it. I'm I'm like really excited for someone to contribute and add something, but so far nothing yet.
This might help. So when it comes to contribution, like what do you need to know? Like, I mean, you've written the thing in Go. Do I need to know Go to contribute, or is there just a way to contribute data sets?
Yeah, you for sure you can contribute only to the data set, because the challenge they come from it comes from .yaml file. So it's really simple. You can just go there, and I have in the readme, if you look there, there's a guide of how you can make your own challenges and add it to the .yaml. You just have to put some parameters like the name of the challenge, the category of the challenge, the difficulty of the challenge, the question, the code snippet, those information that are essential, the options too. And you can just add it there. It's really simple, just more like the text. Um, and you can contribute as well without knowing Go in the vulnerability explanations. This, that is a .yaml2. You can go there and contribute, change something.
Cool. And you can host it yourself, but there's also a hosted version somewhere where I can find it. It's basically on the GitHub pages, I guess it is, or?
No, currently just in your own device, like just running in your own terminal. I'm thinking about something hosted, but I haven't added it yet.
Hosting for Go. I don't even know where that would work, but like, I mean, probably some Vercel or whatever. But I mean, the other thing is, of course, you learn something yourself by installing it yourself on your own machine and actually getting to know it. Which brings me to you, like a game engine like that is, I mean, it's a multiple choice question, so it's not really a proper game, a hard game engine. But did you do that before? Did you use something that you found, or did you learn writing something like this while you were doing it?
Yeah, I have saw other projects using Bubble Tea. That is the library I use it. That is for terminal UI mostly. And I was interested in working with it in some project for a while. So when I had this idea, it was the first library that came to my mind to use to do it. And it's really simple. I learned it while I was doing it. And it you can do really cool things and advanced things, but I did most basic things. Uh, for it to just be like visually um, good, and
Hmm.
basically that.
How did your company react? Did you also show it internally, or was it just on your side project for the internet?
So mostly I did it for the internet because, as I said, I was really interested in contributions and making it open source. I was actually really nervous about it too because, as I said, I'm not a security expert professional. So I was quite like, I don't know. I'm studying it. I don't know if I should launch it, but I talked to my friends and some other people that work in that area. And later I thought it would be a great idea to launch it open source. People could contribute. I could learn from the contributions and other people too, and by the project itself. And some people from my company saw it too, like the LinkedIn posts I shared with some colleagues, and they were like, even the QAs were like, "Oh, I will test it. I run it to test it," and stuff like that.
That's I mean, I love that you basically just did the thing because you wanted to do it, not because like, oh, I want to be successful with that. I want to make it go viral, do something with it. It's just like the joy of coding something to teach something yourself is kind of forgotten when you see like the whole competition of people out there, like, oh, all my side projects have to go to Product Hunt and become like really successful. But this is just for you, and you shared it, and this takes courage, and I want to thank you. This is really fun. This is great to see that somebody just shares his learning experience that way, and probably it should encourage other people to go and do similar things for other bits. Now, in terms of your career or your, not career, but basically your journey into like security stuff, do you think there is a danger that people are trusting automated systems too much? Because I see a lot of people is going like, oh, here's an MCP server that actually does all security scanning for you. Do you think the knowledge of being able to spot security issues in source code is something that we should concentrate on more, or do you think that automation can save us a lot of time?
It's really a complicated topic because I think it depends on the case. Um, I think that automated tools help a lot, especially if it's a startup environment where you don't have much resources and like time and people. And I mean, by saying automated tools, I don't mean like just only AI tools specifically, but the other tools that already exist of dynamic scans of code and static scans of code too that can help a lot. But there is the thing, I think that everyone that goes to study um, spotting vulnerabilities in application and stuff like that sees it's that those automated tools can help, but they don't it doesn't do the job really
Mhm.
well because there can be many false positives, and the automated tool doesn't really have the context of the application and what are the main dangerous flows in the application and what is more dangerous to really focus on and understand has the full context of it. So there is a point where you need to go manually to see and spot to really understand what's happening and maybe spot really dangerous vulnerabilities. But the short answer would be it helps. It can help.
Hmm. Now, you've been your career-wise, you're a junior engineer, mid engineer now, or what is your level at the moment?
Yeah, I am a mid engineer. Yeah, uh, it is kind of confusing to really know the level sometimes you
Mm.
are because it's relative, but I consider myself mid engineer now.
You've been doing it for 4 years now, you said?
Yeah, three and a bit more.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. Like, what do you see right now in the market? Like when you as a person that actually does front end, but actually has an engineer an interest in security, do you think there is mobility for you to actually pick and choose what you want to have as a career, or is there something that you have to chase the jobs and do the things that the market wants? Do you see yourself free to do that, or what could we do better as employees to attract people like you?
To be really honest with you, I think the market is quite hard to in the job descriptions. They always the major job descriptions like require previous experience. So to transition from like engineer to security career, uh, it's nice that you have engineer experience, but mostly you have to have had like experience doing security stuff in so uh, I think it's more easy if you like transition if in your own company, like if you currently work as a software engineer, just start doing security stuff in your own company. That's the most easy way, but it's kind of harsh to transition to, even if it's all like IT, and but it's still quite hard. That's by what I see.
Yeah, and it feels like with a lot of people just hiring senior engineers now and now saying junior tasks can be done by AI. I think that's a very dangerous idea because you want your stuff to be maintained in the future as well, and you cannot only hire experts, and you probably can't afford them either. So the idea of being in a company and being supported to move into other directions, like your interests, is something that a lot of companies can do better. And I mean, I'm not saying your company doesn't, but it's just interesting to see that when people saw it, that they supported you rather than like what you're doing that's not part of your job, you know? Because the this is something that people do as a side hustle normally or as a thing out there. But I think it's good that when a company rewards people to be that creative, because I thought always like you learn the best by teaching others, because then you can't fake it. You just have to understand it when you explain it to other people. Is that
Yeah.
something you found as well?
Yeah, all the time, because I always like to help people that are starting, because I remember my early days when was learning programming. I didn't knew a thing about programming, and I remember to used to think like I'm never going to learn this. And uh, so I really like to help people that are starting now, and I am when I am teaching my friends, there's a point where I feel like I'm not being able to explain this fully. I need to understand more about this actually, and I go like read documentation while explaining to them. So yeah, I totally agree on you learn by teaching to others. I think that's
In terms of like what your our community can do for you, like what do you want people out there to play with blind spot, to basically think of something like that themselves? What do you think would be the would be making you really happy about this? Like what can we do for you?
yeah. I think I would be really happy if there were more contributions in the challenges, and maybe if anyone who is more experienced or know about on a specific topic that can just contribute and really make the tool really achieve its uh, objective, that is teach people. I think I would be happy. And in general, people using and learning from it, that I would be really happy uh, to just contribute for someone's education, because as I said, just uh, explaining about my personal view, when I was starting, I was really confused about how to study something I want to study, because there are many sources and many ways to study a same thing. And when you don't know a thing when you are studying, you can get lost really fast, because you don't know which path to follow. So I think that if blind spot could be a path for someone, like a tool that helps someone to uh, know more the directions they can go to learn and study, it already would be really great.
Excellent. Well, this was great to meet you and to see what you've done, and hopefully there will be some contribution. And if not, it doesn't matter. It was good for you as well, and it's great to see that people just code for the joy of it. And I think gamification of things is a learning path that we keep underestimating. By making it fun, by making it a challenge rather than just like here is the 5,000 documents to read, we might reach more people than we did before. One last thing I was wondering about, seeing that you are Brazilian, like, do you think localization of the tool is a necessity, or do you think that when you want to learn about security, then basically English is a first step that you need to have, or do you think it might make sense to translate it into several different languages?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it, about making translations. Uh, I think it would be a good thing to add. And that's one thing I'm definitely, it's definitely in my to-do list to implement in the tool, because um, there's a lot of people that doesn't know English but should have the same opportunity to learn the same material. So it would be great.
Well, thank you so much, Anna. This was lovely. This was Anna Oliveira. I try again. Uh,
It's okay.
software engineer and the maker of Blindspot. Last thing, why Blindspot?
Because that is the because I thought something I can't see if I don't know how a vulnerability and how an insecure code looks like, it's going to be a blind spot.
Well, thank you very much, Anna. This was Coffee with Developers. We see you probably in the next few weeks, and take a look at Blindspot. We're going to put the link in the description so you can play with it, and hopefully there's going to be lots and lots of localizations and lots of few questions soon. Thanks again, Anna.
Thank you.